Hello everyone, I'm Frank and welcome to Learn How to Sudoku, where we take a very easy variant Sudoku puzzle and we break it down in detail so that you can learn how to Sudoku. Today's very easy puzzle is called Orthogonal Parity Line Arrows by PageDo. And here are the rules. I think the rules equate to exactly what that says. Orthogonal parity lines with arrows. There's some more things there too. We have normal Sudoku rules apply, which means in every cell in the grid, place a single digit from 1 through 9 such that there are no repeats in any row, column, or designated 9-cell region, which is a box. And in addition, digits along the positive diagonal, which is this marked diagonal here, cannot repeat. So you can't have repeats along the diagonal either. Digits orthogonally connected by a double red parity line, one digit is odd and the other digit is even. So what does it mean by orthogonally connected? It means that they share an edge by the double red parity line, right? So that means these two cells share an edge along this orthogonal parity line. And so one of them is odd, the other one is even. That's the same for along this parity line. Along this parity line, one is even and one is odd. This is one of these is odd, one of these is even, one of these is odd, one of these are even, etc., etc. So that's the orthogonal parity line part of this puzzle. And then we have arrows, where digits along a gray arrow line sum to the digit in the attached circle. Digits may repeat along arrows if allowed by other rules. I don't think there's any possibility, though. This is in the same column, same box, same box, same box, same box. Actually, they're all same box, except for this one. This is same row, and this is same column. Anyways, so for an example, if this were, say, a 3 and a 4, this would have to be 7, because these two digits along the arrow must sum to the digit in the circle. And that's an example of how arrows work. We also have cells joined by an X sum to 10, cells joined by a V sum to 5. Digits in cells joined by a white dot are consecutive, and digits in cells joined by a black dot are one digit is double the other, and not all x's, v's, or dots are given. So, for example, if this were, say, a 3, this would have to be a 7, because these two digits must add up to 10. If this were, say, a 2, this would have to be a 1 or a 4 to maintain the 1 to 2 ratio, and this would have to be a 3 to add up to 5, because these two digits must add up to 5. Similarly, if this was 3 and 7, this would have to be 6 or 8, because these digits must be consecutive, because they're separated by or joined by a white crop key dot. And those are all the rules. If you'd like to play along, there's going to be a link in the description. And now, I'm going to get started. Let's learn how to Sudoku. Okay, for me, where I start off with is going to be this row 2, because we have digits separated by these orthogonal parity lines here. So that means whatever set this digit is, it's either odd or even. The other digit must be the opposite set. So we're just going to color them random ones. So whatever this one is, these have to be opposite sets. Well, since these are opposite sets, this is opposite set of pink. That means this can't be orange, right? Because there's a parity line between them. So this must be pink, which forces these to be orange. That means this is pink also, because this is orange, because these two must have different parities. So this is pink, that makes these orange. And this orange means this has to be pink, which makes these orange. Well, We know in every row there can only be 4 evens and 5 odds. So therefore the oranges are odd, which will make them red, and the other ones are even, so make them blue. We already have in this upper central box 5 odd digits, which means these must be even. These odd digits are opposite even digits along the orthogonal parity line. That makes these digits odd also. This must be odd to be on the other side of the orthogonal parity line from an even digit. To add up to an odd digit, you must have an odd number and an even number. So this is odd and that's even. To have an even number, you need to have an odd number plus an odd number. You can't, if you have an even number and an odd number here, that will add up to an even number. So we have 5 odd digits in this upper left-hand box. So that means we can't have odd digits in the rest of the box. So this is even. This is even. This is an odd plus an even number, therefore it must be odd. So that's odd. We have 5 odd digits in row 1, which eliminates odd digits in the rest of the row. So this is even and this is even. Okay. What else do we want to do? Okay. These digits, one of them is going to be odd and the other one's even because it adds up to 5, which is an odd amount. So we'll start marking this as pink. This will be orange. Orange, therefore, has to be opposite of pink across the orthogonal parity line, which forces this to be orange, and this pink means this has to be orange here. What does that mean? For this to be an odd digit, again, it needs to be even plus odd to add up. So this is odd. What else do we have? I'm trying to do all of this by odd and even parity. I don't know if we can do that. These digits also have to be different parities. So I guess we can make this yellow and green. To add up to 10, you have to have the same parity, right? It's either both odds or both evens. So this is the same parity here. This is the opposite parity from this color, so this must be green. This is the opposite parity from green, so this must be yellow. Okay. We have 3 guaranteed yellow parities here. That doesn't help, unfortunately. These are also opposite parities here because they add up to 5. These are the same parities. They add up to 10. Well, if they're the same parity, that means you must have an even digit adding up with it, right? To add up to this one. Because if you have an odd and these are the same parities, that would switch the parity for this one and they would not be the same parity. So that's not allowed. So this has to be even. Okay. So this is the opposite parity of this one. And it must be the sum of these, so this must be odd, right? If this is not odd, this would be even. These would have to be the same parity, right? So that's part of it. We don't know which one these are. This, actually, we do know. This is odd. It must be the sum of an odd and even, and we know pink is one of them and orange is the other. So if this is orange, orange, that's the same parity, and this would be even. So this must be pink then. Pink must be opposite of orange here, so that's orange. Orange must be opposite of pink here because of the orthogonal parity line. Hmm. These digits, again, have to be 1 through 4. To be next to a V, right? Because 1, 4, 2, and 3 are the only possibilities that add up to 5. Hmm. Okay. So, these must be opposite parities. These must be opposite parities. So in this lower right-hand box, these are opposite parities, these are opposite parities, and these are opposite parities. That's 3 sets of opposite parities, which means we have 3 odds and 3 evens in these 6 cells. Well, we have an even cell here, which means this cannot be, we have 4 even cells already in the lower right-hand box. So these must both be odd. Do we have anything similar here? No. Hmm. So this is either 9 and 1. Could be 7 and 3 are the other choices. That must add up with 9 and 1 and 8 add up to 9. 3 and 4 add up to 7. And those are the only possibilities for this arrow, because this must add up to 10 here. Okay. In column 8, these are opposite pairs. These are opposite pairs. So these also must be opposite pairs because we have 2 odd digits in column 8 and 1 even. So that gives us 3 odds and 4 odds and 3 evens in column 8. So these are opposite ones, but we don't know which one's which. We'll make them medium gray and dark gray. Okay. These are opposite pairs. We have an odd digit already in this box, and we have 2 greens and 3 yellows here. So we're guaranteed 4 yellows here and 3 greens. Therefore, no matter what, this must be green because we have already an odd digit here. So this is 2 greens here. Since this is green, this must not be green. This is yellow. So in column 4, we have 2 odds and 2 evens in guaranteed, and we have 2 yellows and 2 greens, which are both odds or evens. And so the reason why we know this is, say we had 4 yellows here. Well, we're guaranteed that one of these is yellow because they're opposite sets. And that would mean if yellow were odd, there would be 6 odds in this box. And if yellow were even, that would be 5 evens in the box, which is not allowed. That's the reason why this is green. So this green forces this to be yellow, which forces this to be green. Again, we have 2 greens and 2 yellows, 2 blues and 2 reds. That means we have 4 of each set. in column 4, which leaves this as an odd digit. So since this is odd, this must be even. Does that tell us anything? Not particularly. We have one of every set here. Oh, sorry, 2 pinks and 2 oranges, and then 1 yellow, 1 green. These are one of every set, because they must be opposite parities here. That means in column 3, we have a guaranteed 3 even parities, and this is a 4th one. So that means the rest of the column cannot be even parity. So these all have to be odd. So green is odd, yellow is even. Which means this has to be odd, because we have already guaranteed 4 evens in column 3. We also have 4 guaranteed evens along the diagonal. That means the rest of the diagonal must be odd. So this is odd, this is odd. These must be odd, which makes this even to add up to 5. So this is 1 or 3, this is 2 or 4. Odd must be opposite of an even, so this is even. To add up to an odd digit, you have to have an odd and an even digit. Since this is even, this must be odd, which makes this even. That means we have 4 evens in row 9, which eliminates evens in the rest of the row, so these are all odd. So this is odd, which makes this 1 or 3. 1 or 3 is in a 1 to 2 ratio with only 2 or 4. So this must not, this is 2 or 4, and this must be even. So the pinks are even, then. So the pinks are even, and the oranges are odd. That doesn't work out. Oh, no, it does work out. Even plus odd is odd. Okay, so that's fine. So this is a 1-3 pair. Okay, in column 7, we have 5 odd digits, which eliminates odds in the rest of the column. So these are even. And same with row 8. This must be even. Well, to have an odd and even add up, this is even, so that makes this odd. And across the parity line. Even and odd add up to an odd digit. So this is odd, which makes this even. That means this is an odd even pair. In this upper right-hand box, we have 5 odds, so that means the last digit must be even here. One of these is odd, one of these is even, which means in column 9, we have 4 evens already in column 9, so that leaves this cell as odd. Okay, this is odd, which forces this to be even across the parity line. That forces this to be odd across the parity line. In row 7, we have 4 evens, so the last digit has to be odd. In column 2, we have 5 odds, so that means the last digit must be even. So odd plus even, again, is an odd digit. We have 5 odds in row 4, so this can't be odd. This is even, which forces this to be odd. We have 5 odds in row 5, which eliminates odd digits in the rest of the row, so this is even. And this must be even too, because we have 5 odd digits in row 6. So that's the makeup of the odds and evenness. Because this is 2, 8, or 4, 6, adding up to 10. And this digit cannot be 1 or 3 because of the 1-3 pair in the box. So these are 5, 7, or 9. This can't be 9, because if it were 9, 9 plus another digit never adds up to a single digit. So this is either 7 or 9 here. to add up with 2, 4, with 5 or 7. 5, 7, or 9 is not consecutive with 2. So this can't be 2, which means this can't be 8. Rest of row... The rest of row 7 cannot contain 1 or 3, so these are 5, 7, or 9. And this can't be 9, because again, 9 can never be on the arrow part of an arrow. So this is 2 or 4 adding up with 5 or 7 to add up to 7 or 9 here. We have a 7, 9, 7, 9 pair in this lower right-hand box. That eliminates 7 and 9 in the rest of the box and the rest of the row. So this can't be 7 here, this is 5. That eliminates 5 in the rest of the row. This 7, 9 pair in row 9 eliminates 7, 9 in the rest of the row, so this is 5. That means this can't be 5, this is 7. And this can't be 5 or 7, so it's 9. 7 can only add up with 2 to add up to 9, so this is 2, this is 9. 2 and 3 add up to 5. So this is 2 with 1 in a 1 to 2 ratio. And this can no longer be 2 and 8. It's a 4, 6 pair. That 4, 6 pair eliminates 4 and 6 in the rest of the box. So this can't be 6. This must be 8. It's 3 plus 7. 3 plus 4 adds up to 7. So this is 4, which means this can't be 4 anymore. That makes this 8. So this must be 8 and 1 adding up to 9. This 4 eliminates 4 here, so that's 2, which makes this 5 and 2 add up to 7. That leaves this as a 6 and this as a 3. The 3 here eliminates 3 in the rest of the row, so this is 1, which makes this a 4 to add up to 5. We just have a 3, 5 pair remaining in row 8. And we have a 2, 8 pair remaining in row 9. This cannot be 8 here, because 8 must add up to 1 to add up to 9. And that 1, we already have a 1 in this box. So this is 2, which makes this 8. Also, this is 6 here. 2 plus 3 does not add up to 7 or 9. And so it must be 2 and 5 adding up to 7 here, which makes this 9 and makes this 3. Okay. This digit is greater than 4 other digits in this box because it's a sum of those 4 digits in some pairing. So this has to be at least 5, but it cannot be 5 or 7. So that means this is an odd digit, which is at least 5, so this must be 9. Where is a 9 then in row 4? It must be an odd digit, cannot be here. Cannot be here because of the 9 in the box, cannot be here because of the 9 in the box. Cannot be on the arrow, and it can't be here because of the 9 in the column, so this must be 9 here. This digit cannot be 2 or 6, and it can't be 8, because 8 can only add up with 1 to add up to 9, but we can't have a 9 in the rest of the box, so this must be 4, which forces this to be 8. So this must be 1, 7, or 3, 5 adding up together. So that would mean this is 1 and that's 7, or this is 5 and that's 3. To add up to this digit, it must be greater than 4, so it's 5 or 7 here. That leaves this as 1 or 3 here. Remaining digits in row 2 have to be 4, 6, and... Okay, let's do 9. Adding up to 9, it cannot be 1, 8. It cannot be 4, 5. So it's 2, 7, or 3, 6 here. So 2, 7, or 6, and 3. are the only possibilities. We have a 3, 7, 3, 7 pair in column 1, which eliminates 3 and 7 in the rest of the column. So this cannot be 7. This must be 5. Since that's 5, this has to be 4 and 1, adding up to 5 there. Remaining odd digits in row 4 are 3 and 7. This can't be 7 because of the 7 in the column. So this is 3. That must be 7. So this must be 7, 2, adding up to 9 here. This cannot be 1, 8, cannot be 2, 7. Could be 3, 6, or 4, 5. 3, 6, or 4, 5 works. But what are the digits remaining in the central box? They have to be 1, 5, and 7. That 1, 5, 7 triplet eliminates 1, 5, and 7 in the rest of the box, or the rest of the rows, sorry. So this cannot be 5. Therefore, that makes this 3 and 6. This 1 along the diagonal, since it eliminates 1 in the rest of the diagonal because there are no repeats, so that makes this 5, which makes this 7, which makes that 1. That leaves the remaining digit on the diagonal that's odd as a 9. So this is 9. 3 plus 2 adds up to 5. And 3 plus 4 adds up to 7. And those are the only possibilities for that cell. This can't be 6, and it cannot be 8. 1 plus 2 adds up to 3. That's possible. 1 plus 4 adds up to 5. And the rest of the digits in column 4 cannot be 1, 7, or 9. The rest of the odd digits cannot be 1, 7, or 9. So this is 3 or 5. This is 3 or 5. This 3, 5 pair, actually this 5 eliminates 5 in the rest of the column. So this is 7, which makes this 4. Where can the 2 be in row 4? Cannot be here because of the 2 in the box, so it must be here. That leaves this as an 8, which forces this to be 4 as the last remaining even digit in this box. That leaves this as a 6 because that's the only remaining even digit in column 8. That leaves the remaining digits along the diagonal as 2 and 8. This can't be 2 because of the 2 in the box, so that's 8, which makes this a 2 here. If this were 3 and 5 as a pair, that would eliminate all possibilities for that cell. So this cannot be 3 and 5. It must be 7 and 1. That 7 eliminates 7 here, so this must be 3 and 6, adding up to 9 here. Where is the 2 in... Well, okay, we have 2, 4, and 8 in the central box, so that leaves a 6 here. The only even digit left in row 6, then, must be a 2. That leaves this as an 8 as the only digit remaining in column 1. The only even digit remaining in row 5 has to be a 6. So where is the 2 in column 3? Cannot be here because of the 2 in the row, so this must be 4, which makes this 2. So it's 1, 2, adding up to 3. 3 eliminates 3 in the rest of the box, so this is 5. This digit must be 1 or 5 because of the digits already in row 3, and it cannot be 1 because of the 1 in the column, so this is 5, which forces this to be a 1. That leaves this remaining as a 3 in column 8. The remaining digit in column 2 is a 7. That leaves in the left central box this digit to be a 3, because that's the only remaining digit, which leaves a 9 in column 3, because that's the only remaining digits left. We have 1 and 5 remaining in row 6, and this can't be 1 because of the 1 in the column, so this is 5, which makes this 1, which makes this 5, and this 8. That leaves this digit as a 6, which eliminates 6 here, so this is 4, which makes that 6. That leaves us as a 4, and that makes that a 2, because that's the only even digit remaining in row 2. That leaves this as an 8, because that's the only even digit remaining in this upper central box. That leaves this as a 4. That leaves this as a 7, and this as a 1, and this as a 9. And that's the solution. I would not consider this very easy. You have to know a lot about the even and odd parities and how they work out between arrows. And there's a lot of stuff you have to get to do that. I would consider this easy, but that's just my rating for these difficulties. Anyways, I hope you enjoyed this episode of Learn How to Sudoku, and I'll see you next time on Frank Puzzles. Take care.